Okay, we're back. Boxing this week 6, I believe. It's a big week. We're joined by Paulo, Boxing Corner Casuals. We had a big week ourselves, or Mr. Paulo did, in the ring with Joe Egan, along with Greeny from Combat Kings.
Yeah,
Mental, that.
Shane and Ramel. Big up
Yeah.
to them. They couldn't get the mic off of him at some points.
No, no.
One tip I had before I went in the ring was just hold the mic, don't give it to him. No, I'm joking. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, I'm joking. Joe Egan was a lovely guy. But yeah, he was on a mission. He wants to fight John Fury.
Oh,
That's what he wants.
yeah.
So
But I saw one of the clip of that's got like 20K views or something. Mental like that.
mm,
Just sick. I mean, it makes sense because he's a big name, but that's pretty fucking cool.
yeah. No, it's good, man. It was good. I was chatting to him beforehand, gave me his business card, which is just him with photos of Lennox Lewis, Muhammad Ali, Russell Crowe. It's quite random, actually. But
Yeah.
it's all people that he's worked with. Really nice guy. I'm going to be careful what I say. So I'm just a really nice guy. I was going to say something, but we know how people are on here. They like taking things out of context. Not
Oh, of
falling for that one
course.
again. Just gonna, yeah. I'm not even gonna say it. We'll just carry on.
Yeah. But yeah, sick event, BXGP, just amazing. Really good event. I did an interview, looked awkward as fuck because I wasn't used to getting interviewed. I've got to sort my posture out. I've noticed that, mate.
Do
I've
you
got
know
a
what?
posture of a
I'm the
candy
same though.
cane.
I just stand like I'm talking to someone, and I have a really short attention span, which I probably shouldn't tell people. Like, no, I'm listening to you the whole interview.
Yeah,
But my thing is body movements. Yeah. So I am very much like I can't sit and stand in one position and be like
yeah,
that. My other hand might be doing this. Like in one of the interviews, my hand started twitching,
yeah,
doing that. And I was like, yeah, that's stuff I got to work on. But sometimes you just forget the camera's constantly looking at you, even though you're doing an interview in front of a camera. It's very hard to explain. But
I didn't know what to look.
hopefully,
Didn't know what
yeah,
to look for.
hopefully we see, hopefully on the next one, Connor will be there doing more media. I know it was your first one and you enjoyed the fights.
Yeah, I
You
was
had your
chilling.
equipment chilling out. Yeah, why not, man? That was the whole point of it, obviously, to get people down from the combat sports community to big up the event and stuff like that. And
Mm.
obviously, we have platforms like this that can talk about it afterwards, so it's beneficial. Do you know what I mean?
And it was a sick event as well. Like we were just talking sort of off camera, and the presentation they put mental.
Mm.
For that size of event, I've not seen that before. I know top tier promotions do stuff sort of similar in that department if they really go for like presentation. Really sick, really sick.
I am at the TM14 or small hall. It's like you know how Eddie Hearn's linked up with Frank Warren.
Yeah,
So this is the small hall Queensbury and Matchroom link up.
yeah,
Their
yeah.
fighters v their fighters. O2 Indigo. That's on the 6th of July. Um, I see a lot of people there, to be fair, so I'll try and get as many interviews as I can. Do you know what it
Oh,
is for me? Yeah, like anyone will tell you this. Yeah, I'm really about this sort of thing. This is my thing. But when we're talking about the interviews where I've got a camera there, I don't like being in front of the camera. I like being behind it doing an interview, and I have the mic there, almost like a Coogan or an
yeah,
October Red in some cases. But October Red does go in front of the camera
yeah.
for
Don't
some,
really
and she's
talk.
behind the camera for others. I'm just more comfortable behind the camera asking questions. It's not about me; it's about the person you're interviewing. In it, I feel like when you get in front of the camera, you take a bit of off them.
Yeah, it feels
Um,
like yeah, yeah.
it's just me. That's just me. But yeah, it's So yeah, O2 Indigo, 6th of July, small hall show. Nielsen Boxing, yeah, TM14 promotions. Should be good. Couple of they're all professional boxers on the small hall circuit, which is what I wanted to just mention quickly as well, because we was that last on MTGP BXGP is a small hall show. Professional Muay Thais were professional fighters, and the boxers are semi-professional. So it's good insight for the boxers. They sell tickets, they get whatever, make a profit off the tickets, keep a certain bit. I suppose it gets used to selling tickets, building up a fan base. So yeah, it's good, man. It's good. Some of the fighters done like 150 plus tickets.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
proper
So
numbers, jeez.
yeah, proper numbers, man. Big up to him. Marlon Gillett, I think, brought the most fans down. He won the light heavyweight title.
All right.
boxing light heavyweight title in the last fight
Yeah.
before the main card of Muay Thai. Marlon Gillett for Julio Thiago.
Yeah.
Yes, great fight, great fight.
Really good fight. That. Yeah.
Ended with a knockout. But like I said to you, it was a difficult one for me because like I got to know Marlon Gillett through this promotion and got on really well with him. You know, even when we was doing the face-offs, I met him. His partner, he brought his partner along to the studio face-off we done for him, and Emmanuel, who was meant to be fighting at the time,
Yeah.
and his little one. And then you know, just chatting to him from there. Obviously, Emmanuel pulls out. Julio gets in. Julio, I've done stuff with before, podcasts and whatnot.
Yeah.
Chat to him regularly. We're really cool as well. So it's a bit weird on weighing because I was talking to both of them and being friendly. Obviously, them two want to get it on, but they were really respectful during the weigh-in. I really feel like that was fight of the night, which is why I'm talking about it so much. Big shout out to everyone else, all the other boxers on the card. But if they had to pick a fight of the night for me across the Muay Thai and the Muay Thai and the boxing, that was the card.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There was a couple fights with Britain. There was one Muay Thai fight. Now I'll be honest, I can't remember the names, but the cut on this guy's head was fucked from an elbow, and we're talking like a 3-inch cut, like blood on the face. Had to get stopped by a doctor. Like, fair enough. That was building probably to be a fight of the night, but no, the whole event was just really good. Like, really, really good. I mean, the atmosphere was good as well, because I said this in that interview, and as awkward as that is, what I said was fine. The atmosphere was a really good mix of like people that know the fighters and therefore just get really into it and go mental for it, and then also just like sort of me and others where I just want to watch fight and I get into the fights like that. So it was a really good event. Yeah. Right. Let's
Big shout out to BXGP and MTGP for another great event and the hospitality that they showed us. So thank you very much, guys.
Oh yeah, of course. Thank you.
Big shout out to Karen, Georges, and Philip, and all the media team, Sophie, who sorted me out with food on the event as well. So yeah. But yeah, let's move on.
Right. Quite a lot of stuff to cover. So we'll go with, first of all, what the fights that have already happened. So Tyler Denny beats Felix Cash. Yeah,
I thought Felix Cash was going to pull out again, to be honest. No, because he's got a tendency of doing it, innit? So you just don't know. You just don't know till the night of the fight, and I think that was their worry. But I'm glad Tyler Denny won. I like Tyler Denny, man. I think he's good. I've watched the fight back a little bit. It was on the same night as BXGP, so I feel like I haven't done it enough justice, and I need to go back and watch it again. But
yeah, I've watched it. It's a shame it got cut sort of stopped early because of the head clash. Yeah, could it have been a different fight had it not been stopped and gone to the card zone, the 5th round or whatever? Could have been, but Tyler Denny thought, well, it is what it is. It happens. It's a fighting sport. You're going to get that. Obviously, we've now found out. There's not too much we can really say about that fight. I would like to see it again in the future, just purely because I thought it was a really good fight on paper, and it's let down a little bit by what's the circumstance. But obviously, the winner of that fight has got themselves onto, I mean, is it the biggest British card of the year? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wembley Stadium, we can't get much bigger than that.
No, pushing for 100,000 capacity.
Yeah.
Apparently, which is a British record.
Didn't Fury and Dillian White do close to that?
Yeah, I think they were 90, high 90s, but I don't think they touched.
Done more than, what was it? Carl Froch's 80,000 at Wembley.
It's funny. 80,000 at Wembley could end up being a bit of a
yeah.
The numbers that they're going to start bringing in with rehab season and nuts. But
Saudis. Hey, listen, Carl Froch said about the atmosphere in Saudi. So he said, "All right, I've got the money. We'll bring it to Wembley."
Yeah, well, we've got an America card, and then a month later we've got the Wembley card. So they're doing it right. Joshua Dubois for the IBF heavyweight title. Joshua could go 3-time. Dubois technically is a world champion now. They've actually upgraded him from interim to world. I don't like that. Personally, don't either count it, if I'm being honest. I think you win it in the ring. And I don't like the email champs either. And it's like, it's not his fault. Come on now. So
But I hear it. But look, on paper he is an email champ. Not
yeah, I
out,
get that.
not out of his own doing. It's not
Yeah,
his fault. He ain't been able to defend it. Technically he should. To be honest with you, what they've done is a bit cheeky, because Dubois should have been fighting Hrgovic for the IBF title.
yeah,
They never had Usyk. Listen, the IBF they had never any intentions of waiting until flipping December or whenever Usyk and Fury are
no,
fighting.
no, no.
So I don't know. A couple of weeks after they fight, now we're letting the belt go, or Usyk let it go. I don't think Usyk just let it go. It got taken off of him. We're not stupid.
Yeah,
Like it's this thing I'm seeing online. This narrative, Usyk let the belts go. I just don't believe that. We know the IBF want their fees. They want their belt on the line. It's a big card at Wembley. They're going to make a lot of money off of it.
yeah.
Usyk, give me that belt. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, Usyk's video saying he had a gift for Anthony and Daniel is that it's funny. That belt was vacated
Did it really
a month.
happen, Usyk,
That
Alexander?
we knew that belt was getting vacated the minute Fury Usyk had finished. So it's not a shock. It is a bit shit for Dubois because in that sense of just like should have let him fight for the title against Hrgovic.
I think he's gonna. I think he's. Listen, I'm gonna make a bold prediction now. I need to see some serious changes from the last fight because if he goes in like he did against Hrgovic, he's gonna
Yeah.
lose that IBF. He's gonna be the shortest IBF. Would he be the shortest IBF world champion or champion?
Assume
Nah,
so.
that's probably shorter. It's one fight
Probably
technically, isn't
something
it?
ridiculous though, isn't there? Where they get it on like the fight week and then they lose it on the Saturday, that kind of thing. There'll be something like that, but it'll be. I know what you mean. Yeah,
Got tagged way too much against Hrgovic. Hrgovic is just Hrgovic. Like he doesn't do anything amazing. He doesn't do anything outstanding. He's just a good boxer, good heavyweight, can throw a punch. I wouldn't say there's many technical boxers at heavyweight as people think in terms of that are really good. And I say this all the time. Look, as much as I've got criticism about Fury, as I have done many other heavyweights, Fury, Joshua, Usyk are of the elite crop in the heavyweight division.
yeah,
They are. They are the elite
yeah.
crop. They're a step, in my opinion, above most others. And don't get me wrong, there's people knocking on that door now. But look, it's going to be a difficult night for Dubois. The difference being is that if he gets tagged the way he does against AJ, AJ's got the speed, he's got the boxing IQ, and he's got Ben Davidson. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And if he fights like that, the fight's going to end really quickly. He's not somebody who's going to win mind games with Anthony Joshua. So the whole thing about him doing that is a bit weird because Anthony Joshua he just won't have it really.
No.
He's just got to do his talking in the ring. I think he puts too much energy into the mind game sometimes. Like, don't feel pressured into doing something you're not natural at doing, which is talking shit.
He's just a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Him and Joe Joyce just should at no point ever be talking
But
shit.
in all fairness, there's being competitive, and then like Dubois coming out and saying, "Let's go now," and it's just like, well, you haven't been told to say that. Respectively, that's sarcasm in that. But it's the PR thing they're doing with Dubois. I don't like. Let him box because he's taking certain things away. You know what I mean? I get it. As a promoter, they're trying to sell him and make him bigger. But if he carries on doing what he's doing and winning fights, he will naturally become bigger. There's just some people that have stardom. Naturally, it comes to the Floyds. Them guys are the biggest shit talkers in boxing. Floyd, Nazim, all these guys, Calzaghe, like they're three guys that I always talk about because they're big shit talkers. But it's natural to them. It's not forced. Whereas we know Dubois don't shit talk.
No.
But now you're trying to shit talk, and you should just stick to boxing because he's a very good boxer. I rate Dubois. I've said this before. Dubois will become a world champion. If it will happen now, I don't know. But for me, Joshua, Usyk, and Fury are not around forever. Dubois will become a world heavyweight champion at some point. If it's not now, give it a couple of years. How old's Dubois? 26?
Yeah, he's gonna be. He could well dominate as well. He's so young. He's got talent. He's really talented. He's just got little things he needs to sort out. And I think
so young. And look who he's fought. Like he's arguably going to have a better resume than most boxers by the time he reaches 30, 31.
Yeah, he's got AJ Usyk, Joe Joyce. I mean, Jarrell Miller is still a good win. It's not crazy. Hrgovic on there as well. He's got a really good resume, actually.
He's fought Usyk and lost, but he fought him. You know,
he still did it.
Still done it.
Fought Joyce when it was a really 50-50 fight. He lost, yeah, but again, did it. Got in there at a young age. Yeah, no, Daniel Dubois deserves all the respect you can give him. And I'm saying that now because I am also going to. Joshua, I think, will finish him. I don't see it going any other way, if I'm being honest. Purely on the fact that Dubois doesn't like to get hit. That is just something that he's getting a lot better at taking those hits and just moving them forward.
But
I'm not going with this like stupid. He's a quitter and all that. No, fuck off. That's not what I'm saying.
I would never call any I'm telling you now. You know, boxers will say that there's a certain point where they might quit in a fight, or they might just not have anything in the tank left. But I do think it's disrespectful to just label him as a quitter his whole career.
Exactly.
Let's not forget when he took a knee. Correct me if I'm wrong. His eye was gone.
Yeah, no, he's to the point in 3 places or something.
If he'd have carried on, he would have lost his eyesight. Now, me as a boxer, am I going on? So John, and fucking Joe in the comments can turn around and go, yeah, he's not a quitter. He's a warrior. He's got heart. I don't live for these Instagram comments. This is in my head. Yeah. If I'm Dubois, I don't live for these people. I don't fight respectively. Fans watch boxing, and I always say this: the fans always have an opinion, but the fighters are not in there they're first in there to fight for themselves, their family, and then maybe the fans come third or fourth. But there's other things in front of them. First of all, being themselves. So what do? They make the decisions. Do I respect Dubois? 1,000,000%. I don't see how you can't. And would I ever say he quit? Nah. He you know, we talk about people like in combat sports athletes who have had eye injuries and carried on fighting. Michael Bisping in the UFC.
Yeah, but he's now not got an eye.
Now he's got a glass eye.
Yeah, I don't want that for anyone. That's why I'm not. So I'm not calling him a quitter. No. He doesn't like to get hit. That is just
no. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But that's okay. But my concern is he doesn't like to get hit, but he does get hit, and he gets hit. I mean, his last performance was really good from an attacking point. He was landing. He found his range quick. Blah blah blah. He also got hit so much by the same shot. Hrgovic threw basically any straight shot with his right hand was landing on the bar flush. Whether it was an overhand, straight, whatever, it was flush. That's an easy shot for AJ to throw. That's a shot he likes to throw.
You know what I feel like as well? You know how like for years, people were saying Joshua's robotic, which I disagree with, by the way, because he's very fast and he can box.
Yeah.
I would say out of him and Dubois is going to be so much slower than Joshua.
Yeah. I just don't think he's had somebody like that in front of him with that size, but power and the speed and the footwork and the IQ. Like Usyk's speed and IQ will not be matched. He'll never come up with against somebody like that. But Joshua's IQ is ridiculous, and the power that comes with the speed and the footwork with Joshua is nuts. And Joshua's chin isn't the worst in the world either. No. The only thing I do think is that the bar hits like a truck, and Joshua's chin is well overhated.
Do you know what makes me laugh? Yeah, Joshua hasn't got a chin, supposedly, says Tony from Macclesfield. But has he ever actually been knocked out in his professional career? Knocked out?
Nah, he saved by the ref, TKO, I guess.
Knocked out.
But not knocked out, no.
I never seen him drop like Amir Khan.
No, ever. He gets hurt. He gets wobbled. But
don't get me wrong, there's stoppages. Yeah, there's stoppages. And stuff like that. But I ain't never seen him get dropped like Amir Khan. That's a man who's been knocked out multiple times, respectively. Yeah, I'm just saying it how it is.
Yeah,
Joshua's never been knocked out. So this conception that he's got no chin, where does it come from? Like, I don't understand. If you want to go there, Fury's been knocked down more than Joshua in his career. in terms
Also,
if you're talking about being down,
yeah,
but getting back up, obviously, Fury's actually gone down more than Joshua. So what are we saying? So if we're using
yeah,
that narrative, and I don't agree with that narrative because I feel like if you could get up from it then and carry on or try to carry on, for me,
yeah.
your chin's good.
No, I agree with that. You can also, with the Fury thing, you can also argue, well, they fought the same guy in Usyk, and Usyk never really properly hurt Joshua. There was a moment, I think, in the first fight where he wobbled in a tiny bit, but nothing crazy.
Mm.
Whereas Usyk nearly got rid of Fury, and you can argue should have got rid of Fury. So yeah, there's arguments. I don't think Joshua's got a bad chin. It's just not like the best chin in the world, but that's not always needed. If Dubois lands clean, he might off up. Don't know. It's hard to
Yes.
say. It's hard
Do
to
you
say.
know?
I just don't
Yeah.
see it happening. That's the problem. I'm saying it, but I don't see it happening.
Do you want to know what the biggest problem I've got on the night of that boxing?
What?
Listen to this. 21st of September. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I can go to the fight 'cause it's down the road from my house.
Yeah.
I can live stream it, which would be better for the podcast.
Yeah.
However, I've also been invited to a boxing show, which I've already committed to on the 21st of September. This is before the card got announced.
Oh no.
So the issue I've got is right now I'm triple booked and I don't know which party to go to. And I owe it to this person who I respect very much because they'll be watching this, but I mean this, to be
Yeah.
able to come to the boxing show because they've offered me an invite and it's like the BXGP stuff,
Yeah.
really growing boxing. But Joshua is fighting on the same night. So Flips, if you hear this, let me know if you're keeping the same date now these news has come out. If you have, I'll be there. If you haven't, then it looks like whatever date you're doing, I'm going.
Yeah.
Unless it's a week before, I'm away from everything from the 2nd of September to the 12th. No one contact me because I'm on holiday. I think I'm going to put everything down for 1 week. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, I'm triple book, Connor. This is the problem.
Triple booked. Yeah,
What
I'm
would you
going.
do?
If you've committed to the guy and he's got you in, you have to go to that. But I'd be so pained. Like I get
Yeah.
it, but it'd be painful. I will be going to I'm going. I don't care. I'll spend stupid money. I'm going. Stupid money to sit in the gods. I want to see AJ live with all the Saudi Arabia stuff. Be interesting to see how often he's actually going to fight in the UK anyway. So it's like, yeah, Wembley, Dubois, 3-time world champion. Yeah, that's I'm going, and the undercard as well.
Sorry, I'm just sneezing at the moment. Sorry, carry on.
You're good. You're good. Obviously the undercard, as per for the Saudi cards, is brilliant. Oh, we'll just do a very quick, like, actual final prediction. I'm going AJ to finish him. Probably quite late, I think.
I'm going to give Dubois some respect. I feel like he's going to prepare for this properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that if AJ will win, I think in round 6 and 7. If Dubois doesn't come prepared, which I very much doubt he won't, but if he doesn't, 2 rounds.
2 rounds. Yeah, no. If Dubois isn't properly prepared, it'll be quick. It'll be very quick. I think AJ later rounds, sort of 8, 9, 10. But yeah. Then obviously the undercard, we've got the man we spoke about earlier, Tyler Denny's fighting Hamza Shiraz. It's a very good fight. I think Shiraz is too good for him, but Tyler Denny is very good. I just think the size, the power, everything.
I think I like Tyler Denny as a boxer. I think it's going to be his hardest fight. I think Hamza Shiraz is a top operator.
Yeah.
And I think the reach is going to be a difficult thing for him to get around. It's a big, big difference.
Yeah, and the power of Shiraz at the end of that reach, that's just hard. It's a horrible fight for Tyler Denny. I do love Tyler Denny. I love them. I'm big fans of both of them. So I'm
sorry.
I'm okay with whoever wins that, but I do think it'll be Shiraz. I just don't see how Tyler Denny does that. If Tyler Denny does that, that's ridiculously good. Who else we've got? Boatsy versus Hutchinson. I think good fight, makes sense for now. But I do think Boatsy wins that.
Have you seen the the face off they've had
Yeah, they don't like each other.
behind? Well, no,
Yeah.
I think it's more Willie Hutchinson that has an issue. Like I feel like Buatsi, you don't see him like that unless you wind him up. And well, Buatsi ended up grabbing his throat. So
yeah. Hutchinson's got a way of pissing people off though, because Craig Richards is, I thought, one of the nicest guys about, and Hutchinson managed to get a bit from him as well. But he's clearly just got a way of getting in their heads. But the build up for that would be good. I think that's a step too far for Hutchinson, if I'm being honest. I think
I think he's not really got a choice. He's got to go there.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I just think I don't know who else you could put him against, because Boatsy Yard is just clearly a bit of a pipe dream at this point, and Boatsy's waiting for Bivol or Bersabia, whoever wins. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think I'm gutted we ain't seen the Yard fight. That's pissed me off, to be honest with you. To be brutally honest with you,
on this card.
I'll be brutally honest with you. It's a shame that they could have made Yard and Buatsi on this card.
Yeah, it's a much better fight.
But I feel like where Buatsi's at now, Yard's at, he wants that fight main card. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, do you know what? I'd say it deserves it for any other event than Wembley 90,000+ AJ, Dubois world title, Riyadh season. It's like co-main on that is big enough, surely, because it would be co-main. But no, I think Boatsy will beat Hutchinson. I think it's a good fight, and it'll be interesting to see just how good Hutchinson is. But I think Boatsy's experience and just general ability, Boatsy comes prepared for it. I think he'll take it. Not easy, but I think he'll take it. Also got Liam Smith, Josh Kelly. That's a really good fight. Interested to see what weight that's at. I assume it'll be 154, but obviously Liam Smith has been fighting at 160 pounds, but Kelly has been welterweight for a while, and I think he moved up recently. But so I'm not sure weight, but Liam Smith did look quite big. I mean, I know he'll cut the weight in September. He's got time, but beefy by name, beefy by nature for Liam Smith at the moment.
You know what's mad about Liam Smith? He'll have a fight, and then the next day he's playing Sunday League.
Yeah, seen a few clips when he beat Eubank. He scored a winner, I thought, in the next day.
It was a cup final he played in the next day.
Yeah. I like Liam. Well, the Smith brothers are just, I love them both, but I like Liam Smith a lot. That's a good fight. Not actually sure who'll win that. I think if Liam Smith turns up at his best,
it's difficult. It's a difficult fight for Josh Kelly, but we're talking about a Josh Kelly who's probably one of the best talented boxers to come out of this country, in my opinion. I think when I was talking to Savage Dan from Boxer, he was saying it as well, and it made me think. And it was like, you know what? Sometimes we forget about Josh Kelly, which we shouldn't, because he's an unreal boxer. You know, this thing that, you know, he was when he first come onto the scene and burst on, not Micah Richards, but he burst on pretty sharp.
Yeah.
You could say like Micah, and he burst onto the scene, and he had a really, like, his style was to like what Ben Whittaker's doing.
Yeah.
Like in terms of his closest comparison I can make. Very different, but closest comparison.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
And then obviously he lost against Avinason.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is probably a fight he took too early on in his career, in my opinion.
Massive.
That Avinason is a world level operator.
Yeah, he got beat out by Crawford, and people kind of disrespected. But
Avinason's fighting Jared Ennis.
Yeah, he's replaced Cody Crowley now, hasn't he? That's
see what I'm saying. Fight. It's a good test for Ennis, but my point being, Avinason beats a lot of people. He's upset a lot of people in the backyards. He's a serious boxer. So when
Yeah,
people say he stepped up to world level, just remember who he fought, because Avin Jason's not a joke.
no,
David Avanison or Avin Jason, how to pronounce it. Like, he's not a joke. So this thing that he can't, he gets to that level and he can't. Let's just remember who he fought, because you know that's a
yeah,
big fight to take. His style is going to be interesting. Liam Smith's very experienced. Is he going to be quick enough to be able to, stop him from? Only time will tell.
yeah,
Um, but nevertheless, Liam Smith is he's a seasoned boxer. Like, he's very experienced. He's trained. He knows Josh Kelly as well. So there's that factor of it. They know each other.
yeah. It's a
Uh,
good fight. I think I'd favour Liam Smith on the pure basis of experience. He's been there with
mm.
the best, like Canelo for one. I mean, that's enough experience there. I mean, yeah, he obviously got stopped, but I think it could be too early. But then I think you're right. Josh Kelly is brilliant. But being honest, I think he's promoted quite poorly. They do their best at Wasserman, absolutely, but he should be a bigger name than he is. Should be a much bigger name than he
Well,
is.
there is always the thing is, there's still that question mark over the Conor Ben fight. That fight is a fight that we never
Love to
saw
see.
as a
Love to see
domestic
that.
clash. Conor Ben v Josh Kelly, but I don't know what's going on with Conor Ben now and if he's even allowed to box. So there's that issue as well.
Still
But
not.
yeah, I'd like to see Josh Kelly and Conor Ben.
Yeah, it's a good fight. Similar level as well.
That's a 50-50 fight, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think maybe where Conor Ben's at. Conor Ben definitely wouldn't shy away from the fight. I think Conor Ben's not somebody who, in my opinion, who shies away from a challenge. I feel like Eddie Hearn is probably looking at it from a business point of view. He's saying, with everything going on with him at the moment, do you really want to put him in 50-50 fights right now? Because if he loses and he's
Oh,
got
it's
all this
bad.
stuff going on,
So
he's not
bad.
as active. It might not be as good for Conor Ben. And that's not to say Conor Ben wouldn't take a 50-50 fight, because I think Conor Ben would fight anybody on the planet if he was given the chance. Like,
Yeah, he's a good level of nutter. He's like his
yeah,
dad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's a nutter that he's just a boxer. Like, he doesn't he's not scared to fight anyone, is my point I'm
Nah.
trying to make. But the promoters know what they're doing with these fighters, and Eddie Hearn is steering his career in a direction that he believes is right for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we see that Josh Kelly fight anytime soon, but as a fan, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I think they just need to resolve the whole drug stuff with Conor Ben first, because that's still going on. Really, it was like a month ago when we were meant to get a conclusion on it, and still not happened. And
The
it's like, it
problem
feels
the
like it's been
problem
going on for
is, if
years.
I mention about the drug test quick, because I know we've got a lot to go through and not a lot of time. If I
Yes.
mention about the drug test quick, for me, the whole thing's a joke. Within boxing, drug testing is a joke, because if you go back to the Ryan Garcia situation, what I'm reading is the commission that actually tested him before and after the fight didn't find any ostarine in the system. Then an
Yeah.
independent one was carried out and they found it. But this independent commission actually has no power over the result, or because Ryan Garcia's decision's been
Yeah.
reversed.
Yeah.
So this independent body that's found these variants don't have any power over basically what happens, but yet we've seen it overturning the decision. So my thing is, now you've done it for Devin Haney, and if people are found guilty, because there's still, by the way, when I say about Conor Ben, I don't actually know if he's actually been found guilty of anything yet. Am I wrong?
No. So with him, it's just they found stuff in his system. They still can't prove anything to do with it because of the timings are weird, and it's like some samples do have it, some samples don't. Ryan Garcia's is a bit more clear that he has it in his system. It was there before the fight,
According to
after the
one
fight.
state commission,
Well,
by the
so
way.
so VADA are the ones, the independent ones that have been testing everyone. And they're the ones that seemingly are the one they find everything. So they're kind of the best. The UCAD, which is what we've got over here, and I can't remember what American version is, but
Yeah.
fucking shit. They've not got everything on there.
But
So the reason the Brian Garcia fight got overturned, I believe, is Varda said, look, he's got Osterine in his system. We've got it in the pre-fight and post-fight sample. And then the American ones come in, tested their samples, and gone, oh yeah, shit, he does.
Yeah.
So I think that's the same thing that happened. Conor Ben's might be weird. I think it might be he had it with UCAD, where UCAD had him cheating, and then Varda had him innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the whole Conor Ben one's just really odd, like completely odd. If you actually look into it and don't do what a lot of people online do, where they go drugs, he's a cheat then, instead of actually just read into it a bit, and then you realise the whole thing. I'm not saying he's not a cheat, but I don't think he personally. I don't think he is. But
I make one suggestion, for these fucking crooked boards in boxing, which are run by, just in my opinion, like old men with mustaches who have suits and they got that. I think it's very cliquey and corrupt. Like what the eye, this one, that one, all of that.
Illuminati.
All of that. Do you know what? I don't think they make it clear for fans. I feel like when someone is what's the word I'm looking for? When somebody's found guilty, not guilty, or they're being investigated, they just post a letter up which have all these big words in it, for people that don't understand. So make it accessible and digestible for the fans who pay for the money, because without the fans, these commissions don't have a job. No, without fans, boxing doesn't run. Without fans, we don't do this podcasting. We don't do interviews. The fans are boxing. If they are, the millions are saying now, we want it accessible in a way where we're able to understand what's been going on. Why didn't you drug test before the fight? Because that isn't always explained. And these things aren't explained to the people that pay your bills, to be brutally honest with you. Better understanding of it for the fans. I'm all for that, basically.
No, I agree. Because the Conor Ben stuff, we had the eggs thing come out, which was just the WBC just did that. They didn't actually check with Conor Ben or anyone that they could put that out. They did that. So then that's just clowned the fight. We've seen this now. Devin Haney is getting a horrendous amount of hate, by the way, for having the fight overturned. Now, I'm not sure he should be in a bowling alley dancing. It's not like he's won the fight. We all saw it. He still lost. But you're hating on Devin Haney for having a decision overturned when the guy has been found guilty. You're hating on Conor Ben for the WBC being morons and releasing something, and we still don't know what the fuck's going on there. People were hating on Ryan Garcia before the thing was sorted out anyway. It's like you're right.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
So the problem we've got now is, do we overturn every single decision in boxing because you were found guilty of a drugs test, and obviously Devin Haney? In all honesty, in some instances, I think the guy and his dad act like brats. To be honest with you, like in my opinion of how they deal with things. Don't get me wrong. Supposedly, this is what I'm saying to you. Ryan Garcia is guilty, but then we're seeing that might not be true. And if Ryan Garcia gets this overturned because he's going with the drug test that had him not guilty, and whatever board decides fucking up in the clouds in Athens somewhere, what happens? So what happens then? Does the decision go back to Ryan Garcia again? Like, boxing is too much of a mess. It's all a mess to even comprehend in my head. It's like
I would rather just have it. Tests come out. They do some quick, like just basic checks to make sure it's not like some stupid human error, and they go, "Oh no, I wouldn't rather that." Actually, I'm saying that, and I'm thinking, "No, I wouldn't rather that." I think this fight's been handled actually all right. If I'm being honest. Brian Garcia is obviously going to come back and try and get this thing overturned because it looks bad for him. I know he's saying he doesn't care. He'll retire for a year. He's been banned for a year. That will always stay with him.
Yeah, here's the problem with these tests on the fighters. You get to fight night, you find out that your headlining main card. You find out that your fighter that you're fighting has spiked levels of something. Not saying, but their levels are spiked.
Oh yeah.
What do you do? What do you do as a boxing fan? Sorry, as a boxer. You're getting paid 7 million to fight. Will you? I don't know. This is the thing they don't explain to people. If a fighter has to pull out on fight night because of spike tests, do they then still get their full purse?
No, they didn't fight.
No one really knows, isn't it? This is the problem. So I don't even think the fighters know, which is why I think they get pressured into carrying on with the fight. Look at Callum Smith and Beterbiev. Prime example. Before the fight, Beterbiev had spiked levels of testosterone in the system. Yeah. I obviously said on a podcast before that could be for many reasons. The guy ran 10K before fucking beating Callum Smith. You can get but my point being, if I'm the other fighter and I see that,
it's not good.
But then the pressure is Callum Smith's there on the night, he's fighting in Canada. Do you turn around as a team and go, yeah, we're not fighting, and go home?
Yeah.
Or do you? Really, and the problem is if you agree to fight, you can't come out afterwards and talk rubbish about spiked levels of this because you've agreed to the fight. Ultimately, it's down to the boxer, innit? So
yeah. Well, that's the thing. You've done all you can, which needs paying for. And get to fight night and you're being told about it. It's fucked. It's completely fucked. But I do genuinely, I think Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney's actually been handled all right, if I'm being honest, as well as it can be. But we've got so many ones recently where it's so bad. It's handled like shit. Like in what's his name, Oscar Valdez, who got done on a fight week, still fought on the fight week.
Yeah,
I've heard that went under the carpet. Nothing even happened with that. But you got found, you had positive tests, and that one's just nothing. It's fucked. Boxing's fucked. Right, we could talk about boxing being fucked all day. We've still got Mark Chamberlain's fighting against Josh Padley. It's a pretty good fight. I assume Mark Chamberlain will win. What else is on that event? Is there any that I've not met? Let me get my notes up. Kakachi versus Warrington.
I've seen this now. Kakachi will stop Warrington.
Yeah, I think Warrington's a bit past it.
Yeah, I mean, respectfully, Kakachi.
He's had a brilliant career.
Kakachi's going to be too aggressive for him. Yeah. Kakachi will stop Warrington. If you asked me 7-8 years ago, I'd say Warrington all day.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a really good fight for as long as that lasts, though.
Look what he done to Cordina. I know Cordina's a very good boxer, by the way.
Yeah, Cordina was still almost shocked that Cordina lost. I never saw that coming, but Kakachi's proper. In terms of Joshua Dubois, that is everything. We've covered the Garcia ban. So now we've got Catterall versus Regis Prograis. Has been announced.
Great fight. I'm happy for Catterall, man.
That's a really.
He's getting the big fights. Again, we go back to it though. He should be fighting as a world champion.
Yeah. Yeah,
he should be undisputed world champion. But we've got shit judges and we've got shit refs in the country who just make their own decisions.
Yeah.
And go and just run with it, in my opinion. So I could get into talking about judges and refs all day, but
only thing I'll say.
I'll be asked. Yeah.
Only thing I'll say, and it's definitely not defending the judging, because no, fuck that. But Catterall's name, is it bigger now because of what's happened in that Josh Taylor fight?
Probably
than what it would have been if he won the titles.
But I don't think it was because of the result. His name is bigger because of the performance.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I just think personally, because of this, he's then gone, right, well, Boxer just was fucking him about with the Josh Taylor, or Josh Taylor was whatever. He was getting no fights, nothing.
Mate, do you know the worst thing? That had nothing to do, but none of them were actually signed to Boxer.
Really?
Yeah. So Boxer, Sky Sports were televising the event, but you had Catterall, who was Matchroom, and Josh Taylor's Bob
Top
Arum,
rank. Yeah, yeah.
and
Was Catterall
bench.
Matchroom at the first fight?
Yeah,
Was he? Okay.
but yeah, but Scott. The thing is, they didn't have Boxer had no fighters in that. So
Yeah.
when I asked Dan about it, he was shocked by the decision. But the thing he said to me was, I think it's in one of my interviews I've done with him, and he was saying, this is media relations for Boxer Dan, and he was saying
Yeah.
they had the best view of the house because they were looking at it, even though Sky were televising it, they were able to watch the fight as a neutral.
Mm.
And they both, and their thoughts were the same as everyone else. Catterall won.
Yeah.
By the way, Taylor, yeah, has had an unreal career. Can I just add? I know we're talking about Catterall and what he's done and what he should be, but
Taylor
don't
gets
take anything away
disrespect as
from
well. Yeah,
Taylor.
yeah.
There are certain people that will never ever get close to achieving what Josh Taylor's done, ever.
Oh, yeah.
So, regardless of what happens, Josh Taylor's career has been top. He's won everything. You know what I mean? You can't get much better than that.
No, and the way he did it as well. The combined records of his last 5 fights up to that undisputed unified blah 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 is ridiculous. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's something like 100 odd wins, 2 losses. That's the combined. It's nuts, and he beat them all. The only one was Prograis, who Catterall is fighting now. That's the only one that was a close fight. Personally, I do think Josh Taylor won that. Some people like Reed just winning it. I think it really depends who you like. It's that kind of fight. But Catterall now headlining every event he's in. He's a big enough name. Still want to see him in a world title fight. That's the only thing about this fight is it's brilliant, but it's not a world title. And I just want to make that because Catterall not winning a world title would be devastating, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But that's a great fight. Obviously, no undercards yet.
Regis Prograis is a hard opponent. It's a good world level fighter for him to fight. I like Regis Prograis. I thought he's fought Devin Haney. Listen. We talk about it. If I just mention very quickly as well, Devin Haney looked a lot bigger in that fight. Devin Haney should have been fighting at 140.
No.
And when we talk about Ryan Garcia's things, Devin Haney's also under investigation for illegally rehydrating. So that would mean that if he was found guilty of what he was found guilty of, his last 6, I think they said his last 3 or 4 WBC title defenses should count as null and void, as you've done with Ryan Garcia, because you've broken the laws of what allows you to do what you do within what. Illegally rehydrating will give you an advantage over your opponent if they find him guilty of that. But again, these things aren't explained to boxers, so I'm only repeating what I've heard. Give us an understanding of it and let us know what that means. The problem is you can't get interviews with the board. You can't get interviews with these people on the boards because they have to be seen as sitting on the fence. But it would be good to get.
They ain't sitting on that fence.
It would be good to get somebody from UCAD or someone on just to talk us through the whole thing.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting actually.
Yeah,
but the Devin Haney stuff is weird. I do think something that people do also forget is way too. Fighters should know what they're doing, but fighters like Haney and Garcia, they got a lot of family around them, so they probably just trust what they're eating is fine, what they're doing is fine. I'm not saying that it justifies it, but those two are quite young as well.
Haney
just lay off a little, you know what I mean.
Haney's problem is if he is doing that whole family thing, supply everything, he needs to throw it out the window because you are fighting at a world level. You need to get rid of your dad as a coach. Get a nutritionist. He's got Ben Davidson that he gets to review his videos. Ben Davidson should be coaching you 10 times better than Bill Haney. 7 days a week, twice a year over. Do you know what I mean? Twice a year over.
But
why it's not happening, I don't know.
No. But Catterall Prograis, great fight. Obviously, just need the undercard for that. It's a hard fight to call. I'd probably go Catterall, but it is a really good fight. And then this week, or weekend rather, the passing of the torch. Jesse Baron Rodriguez versus Estrada. Proper fight. I don't even. I'm going to go for age and say Bam wins, but it's a hard fight. He's moving up to Superfly It's only like £3 difference, but it's still moving up. WBC and Ring Magazine title on the line. Brilliant fight. A brilliant undercard as well. Obviously, Sonny Edwards returns on the undercard against Anthony Curiel, which is good.
Yeah, I like Sonny Edwards, man.
Yeah, good to watch. Good to watch.
Yeah.
Bam Estrada is proper. Bam is proper. Estrada is.
Bam's proper. So it's a good fight. Listen, Bam Rodriguez is, we talk about a world level operator. And like you said, he's passing the torch. So, when I watch Bam, and when I've watched him the last couple of times, it's the power he carries. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
And a lot of them guys don't hit like that at that weight in terms of like stoppages.
Yeah, his knockout percent for that weight is nuts.
Mm.
And the way he does it as well, like he's not just stopping people as in the refs having to step in because he's beating them down. He's knocking them out. I mean, I love Sonny Edwards, but he had Sonny Edwards on his face.
Yeah.
Literally face planting. Like it was quite bad. It was amazing to watch, but it was bad. I've heard a little rumor. I know Bam did an interview, I think on Monday, and he was saying that after this, he is very open to a Noah Inoue fight in the near future. And then I was looking at the weights and I was thinking, oh, that makes sense. I think Inoue would be too big for him, but that's, if you want to test yourself, and that's actually, if that's doable, something that Bam would do.
If you want to test yourself against a zombie, yeah?
Yeah, test yourself against somebody that is fucking horrendous to fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a good fight week. Great fight week, actually. We've got the Joshua announcement. We had a decent card with Denny Cash. We have a Cattle Progress announcement. We have all sorts going on. And I think we've covered it all. Or at least all of the main stuff. You can't cover it all. That would take years. But I think that's all I'm going to say. So,
you forget Shakur Stevenson's back. Johnny Fisher, Alan Babbage. 6th of July.
Oh, yeah.
It's
too much, man.
No,
that's what I was going to bring this up.
If I can go through a couple of the fights, not as it, just read them out to you quickly so the viewers know what's going on. So I actually got this list. Shout out to IFL. They did a little list of fighters, which is quite good. So 6th of July, you got Shakur Stevenson v. Artem Harutyunyan. I hope I ain't butchered that. Johnny Fisher v. Alan Babbage. Shaq Foster v. Robson and Conciel. I'm looking forward to that fight. I like it, Foster. Albert Batagrev v. John O'Carroll, 12th of July. 13th of July, you got Ennis v. Avanason, Sky Nicholson v. Diana Vargas. Sky Nicholson, I think, is unreal. 20th of July, you got Liam Davis v. Shabazz Massoud. Nathan Heaney v. Brad Pauls 2.
Oh, yeah, Magnificent 7, isn't it? Yeah.
David Adderley's fighting. Chantel Cameron's fighting. 27th of July, Joe Joyce v. Derek Chisora. Nobody wants to see that fight whatsoever. Got zero interest in that. That's like watching Soccer Aid. Yeah,
I will put it on in the background. I'm not.
And to be honest with you, that's not even a disrespect to Chisora. I love Chisora, but I think Joe Joyce needs this fight more than Chisora. Chisora is the A side.
Yeah, Chisora can do it. Chisora can lose this fight, and
Chisora can do what he wants. The guy has fought across different generations in terms of different fighters across different times. Really, when you think about it, he's fought top guys. He's fought the top guys. Chisora's done everything in boxing. Joe Joyce hasn't achieved a quarter of what Chisora's done in boxing, and probably money-wise as well. Chisora's a businessman. I'm not. When I say no one wants to watch his fight, if you're talking about the boxing fans, it's not really a fight that means anything. Like if Joe Joyce beats Chisora, I don't know how much further he climbs up. I don't even know where Chisora is in the rankings now.
Be surprised if he is ranked.
Joe Joyce is touching 40, man. So I think it's a payday for him. But I'm a bit upset about that fight. August the 3rd is a boxer card. Yeah, man. There's loads on. You obviously got Regis Prograis at the end of the month, and I'll stop there. But
Yeah.
before that, you got Zach Chelly v Callum Simpson, Terence Crawford, obviously on the card in LA. Bacoli's on that card v Jared Anderson, Isaac Cruz v Jose Valenzuela, Andy Cruz v Antonio Moran, obviously Andy Ruiz v Jarrell Miller.
Yeah, and they're still trying to get Virgil Ortiz on that.
Do you know the worst thing? And then like you said, that's just what's scheduled at the moment. Prior to August, you've got the September card, 21st, and Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk v Tyson Fury on December the 21st. Not bad.
Still got the Bivol Beterbiev official announcement as well for October, I think, as well.
October, yeah.
Like, it's nuts. September, October. Haven't got one in November. Fuck. But December, you got the rematch. It's great. We're living good. That was the final thing I was going to mention. I just didn't write my notes. Looking like Shakur Stevenson to Matchroom is getting quite likely at the moment. Stevenson's contract with Top Rank, I believe, only has the fight on the 8th or whatever, 6th. I think that's his last fight with Top Rank, and he doesn't look like he's going to renew. With Eddie Hearn making comments that he was going to, basically saying he's going to go for it and try and get Shakur Stevenson. That, I know your opinion on Shakur Stevenson is still pretty limited in terms of you're not.
Yeah, I need to see him fight.
Not massively interested yet because it's just exposed. Eddie Hearn with Shakur Stevenson is doing that.
Eddie Hearn with Shakur Stevenson should fight and will fight, and Eddie Hearn will get him the fights. And I feel like that's where we see this Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah,
that everyone talks about him. He is the best boxer, better than Gervonta Davis, better than Haney, better than Tio, better than all these guys. He's the best.
Yeah.
Best thing since sliced bread. Yeah. But his last fight was mediocre. And prior to that, the guy don't, he's early in his career. Correct me if I'm wrong, he hasn't got a title, yeah?
No, he has. He won a WBC at 130 pounds, I believe. So he is a world. Also,
is he still?
He might be a 2-weight world champion. Actually,
is he still a world champion now?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the problem. That's the problem with boxing, though. The guy was talking about 5 months ago retiring. So what? This is my issue with WBC and these people. Like at that point, you've got a fighter saying he's going to retire, but he's still got the belt. It's all about money, man.
Yeah.
Like I feel like these guys, as much as I know people say how good he is, he's also holding belts hostage, if that's the case. And I just disagree with it because there's fighters that fight for that belt like that.
He needs to fight more. That's the key. People need to see him, and he needs to be fighting higher level as well.
Yes.
Because he looks great. His last fight was shit, but I imagine in 2 weeks' time, week and a half, he's going to look ridiculously good. I'd be surprised if he didn't, because I think he's got something to prove. But the guy he's fighting is not the highest level.
But he don't. Shakur Stevenson don't really knock people out, does he?
Nah. He's a sort of Devin Haney-esque. He can do it, but it's not going to happen when you get higher level. He's going to outbox you or get outboxed or whatever. But him versus Tank is the fight I'd like to see, because I think he's got the skills that could actually cause Tank problems. But then Tank's power, obviously, and IQ and everything. But yeah, no, him at Matchroom, that makes a lot of sense. Especially with Eddie Hearn coming over now with Ennis, Bam, Andy Cruz eventually will be where he's fighting on the Crawford undercard. Nuts. But yeah, I think that is everything for this week, and that is finally everything I've got to say. I'm probably forgetting something, but who cares? It's too much. Any signing out thoughts from yourself?
I've gone back to headphones. That's my signing out thought. Because the headsets cause a big dent in your head, people.
Yeah.
So
at work, I've got to use the headsets.
You're gonna have that. They said people from working from home, like in 30 years, are gonna look like that, and their head's gonna be in mad shape. Who said that? Ellis Zora cracked me up when he showed me when he put that up. I said to him when he said it, I was like, "What the fuck?" But apart from that, when we talk about boxing, no, not really. Everything's discussed. WBC is still crooks. IBF and is doing their thing. They're making fights happen. Other boards should take note. Apart from that, not really a lot, to be honest with you. We've had a busy week, so it's nice to get back to talking about obviously this sort of thing as well, because I've just been the small hall stuff for the whole week. 23 interviews, I think, is uploaded currently. I've still got to do more. So it's nice to talk about boxing again, and I mean that in a respectable way, the sense of it's good to talk about the upcoming fights, because I've put this stuff on a bit of a back burner leading up to the event I was at last week, because it was such a successful event, which is live on DAZN, that it just took up a lot of our time.
Yeah. Well, that sums it up. Right. Subscribe, like, all the stuff. All the links are below. You already know it. If you don't know it, you're a moron, aren't you? That's kind of
you're just a mug if you're not logged into a YouTube account. Let's have it right.
Weird.
Let's have it right.
I'll expect. My granddad is still struggling to log in, so
all right.
I'll let him
your granddad is obviously an exception. I'm not calling him a mug, but
can't believe it.
It's all right.
No, but even him, he's getting set up soon. I'm going over and I'm setting him up. So come on now, do it.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I will say one thing. Do smash that like button, subscribe whilst you still can. Because if my dad was here and he was alive, he would like and share and subscribe. But truth is, he's not. He's died and he can't. So whilst you're still here, smash the like button.
A bit of a dark turn, but it's
good
nice.
Message, isn't it? Good message.
Yeah, it is a good message. Wasn't expecting it complete. I'll be honest. I was like, whoa.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? You got to understand something with me, Connor. Yeah, I've had a lot of loss in my life, so there's only one way to look at it. You have to look at it in a positive light, and that is the positive light. And my thing to you lot is my dad can't subscribe, but you can. So please crack on.
I like that. We'll end it on that. That's nice.